Hey, welcome to this week's episode, everyone. My name is Dean.
And I'm Bryan.
Welcome to Geekus Speakus, the sick episode. We're both sick.
I don't know if I'm as sick as Dean, because Dean said he has the flu. Mine's just exhaustion and not being able to I think I had a cold and I just haven't had a chance to rest it off yet, and I've been super busy all week. I ended up having to help some friends move last weekend, so I didn't have time to do anything. And then this week I was working 12-hour shifts all week and then had to work Saturday. So
Yeah.
this is my first resting day I've had in a while, and I still got to do shit today. I still got to go to the grocery store and go see Star Wars, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I know how you feel. Between this and my 13-hour travel and work day and all that, and
Well, here's the thing. They're 12-hour work days plus the travel.
oh yeah, ew.
I was leaving home at 7 and getting home at 10.
Oh jeez, I thought my commute was long.
Yeah.
I'm pulling a 1 hour commute one way. Ew.
Oh, I'm doing an hour and a half each way.
Ah, gotcha.
Hour and a half to 2 hours each way, depending on if I can get the bus, if the buses are on time.
Right. Well, Bryan, I hate to tell you this, but another year's gone by, and we're not 2017's Time Magazine Most Influential People of 2017.
Well,
Maybe next year. Maybe 2018 will be 2017's Most
well, you
Influential
see,
People.
they called us, but I said we didn't want to take the pictures. We didn't have time to take the pictures
I work too damn much, people.
because we're that great and we're that important. And
Yeah.
yeah, they totally called us.
This is totally.
I'm not lying.
This is totally a thing that happened. Yeah. Um. So yeah, welcome to this week's episode. This is the Sickcast episode, I guess. What's
The
going on?
Christmas sick cast. Bah
Yeah,
humbug.
bah humbug indeed.
I mean, I'm not buying people Christmas presents until January, so
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm a terrible gift giver, as it turns out, unless people tell me. What they
that's why
want.
I love Amazon lists.
Yeah, but none of my family has an Amazon list. Like a friend of mine, I got Sonic Forces because he told me he wanted Sonic
You don't
Forces.
have to buy your family gifts. They're family.
But I have an older brother and sister-in-law who's gonna get me something, and I'll feel like shit if I don't do the same thing.
And
Yeah.
ask them what they want.
No one knows what they want, or they was pay my bill, which bills are expensive.
I don't like giving cash for Christmas
Same.
or holidays and stuff. It's yeah, that's why though. It's no, I don't want the money because I'm just gonna use it to pay bills. Give me something else. Or my plan is just to get a couple people gift cards over the in January for a couple of the specialty stores in Portland that I know people like. Like I was gonna get I hope she doesn't listen to this. She probably won't listen to this. I was gonna get Laura a gift card to Pals. I was gonna get my friend Alex to Everyday Music. I was gonna get Al something. Just because they love those stores, and they're not like Walmart or some shit.
I'm not a big fan of gift cards or giving
I
money
don't like them either.
because
I don't like gift cards either.
it just feels because I understand it because when you crunch times you want to do something nice, but you may not know how to get it to them. It just to me I hate it because it feels impersonal. If you know
The
what I
reason
mean.
I'm the reason I'm doing the gift cards to these specific stores is because I know it's personal for them.
Oh, gotcha.
This Everyday Music is this huge record store in Portland. Pals is like the biggest bookstore in the country.
Hmm. And
And I know Laura loves Pals. Alex has been wanting an excuse to go to Everyday Music. So
gotcha. And if you're listening to this, these are not gifts to your presents. These are not involving you, Alex and Laura. Ooh, you're not.
yep, that's a different Laura and a
Yeah,
different Alex.
Laura Smith, Alex Smith. I would make a joke, but I'd really laugh if you actually had a friend named Laura and Alex Smith.
Well, Laura's husband is named Alex, but it's a different Alex, so
I don't know. I'm a terrible gift giver. The only thing, like I said, the only thing I got was a friend of mine wanted Sonic Forces because he's a big Sonic fan. I was like, done, easy. That's pretty simple. That's $40, and I could buy it on Steam. It's already in his hands. Well, in his Steam library, whatever.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I had to get somebody a gift. I'm like, I don't know what to get you. You strange, weird biped, you.
Yeah, it's honestly a thing of I don't know. Usually I don't know what to get people. So I rely on the Amazon list, and I pretty much tell people that if you don't have an Amazon list, I'm not going to get you anything.
I, I'm bad at it. I really need to get better at this. Um, Personal problems aside, we should probably delve into this episode a bit.
Yeah, probably. We'll get there in an hour.
Yeah. Next, we're going to talk about different gift ideas. This year, I'm thinking handmade.
So, excuse me.
Start off like we normally do with trailer talk.
You know what? Let's go a little differently this time. Do you want to talk about some movie that we both saw over the last couple weeks before? Because we're late on our thing and we screwed up our schedule. Let's talk about The Disaster Artist.
Well, there have been a lot of good movies this
Oh yeah,
year.
spoiler cast.
Spoiler cast.
Spoiler alert.
Hey, spoiler cast, everybody.
So, Disaster Artist. I thought it was great.
We've had a lot of good movies this year, surprisingly, and it has so far probably been my favorite movie this year. I'm not even gonna lie.
It was so good, and as somebody who has a copy of The Room that is signed by both Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero, it was great.
Oh yeah.
I'm such a huge Room fan.
Like, even if you're not a Room fan, in itself is a very solid movie.
And it's like one of those things of like, it's a solid movie. It shows just how crazy the production of this movie was. And it's amazing. My favorite part is one of my favorite parts. The whole thing was good. Was the end during the credits when they actually like refilmed a bunch of the scenes from The Room.
Yeah, they did a shot for shot for a few of their more famous scenes, and it was great.
Oh, it was amazing. And like you get this kind of sense of how crazy Tommy is. I've read The Disaster Artist, have you?
I have not. I mean,
it's really good. I will say the movie is an extremely abridged version.
Really, because like it was funny because Tommy said that the book was only 40% true.
Here's the thing. The book gets more into like guesses about Tommy's backstory.
Oh.
And Tommy doesn't like when people do that.
Oh. Well.
As you may not have noticed from the movie of don't talk about me. Don't talk about me around those people.
Sorry. Yeah, no, he doesn't like people talking about his background. I mean, he's an all-American guy from Louisiana after all.
I'm a real raging Cajun. Tennessee Williams, you're taking me apart. I don't talk about me. The book talk about me too much. Movie, great. Movie don't talk about me very much.
Well, the good thing about this movie is it comes from the point of Greg.
Greg, I keep going.
I would say, because if you think between the duo that they are, and unless you have read the book or watched the movie, you wouldn't know that they're really a duo based off of The Room, because Greg gets almost no screen time in comparison.
Well, he gets like the third or second most screen time, so
yeah, it's pretty much just like Tommy.
Great story, Mark.
There's a girl that got beat up. Weird story, Mark. What?
Great story. My favorite line in the movie. What a story, Mark. What?
What I like about this movie is it doesn't make fun of Tommy Wiseau so much as just it's Tommy Wiseau who is by default a weird guy.
He is a strange person.
Yeah, so they're not making fun of him so much as they're just being literal to who Tommy is.
So Tommy is a strange person with a lot of money and like he is extremely confident.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, and that's the kind of person he is. He has this weird. My guess with his accent is that he was born in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
He spent a bunch of his childhood in France, so he had like a mix of French and Eastern European. And then he moved to America and learned to speak English in New Orleans.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Because he did in a recent interview with Kimmel, he did admit that he's from Europe, but I don't think he specified where his accent's a bit thick, so I didn't exactly hear the area. But he said he did move to America when he was young, in New Orleans. So he's just kind of said, wherever he's at is where he's from. So he chose New Orleans. But of course he doesn't talk about his past. So I like the shroud of Tommy Wiseau to me is more interesting than the character of Johnny. Tommy Wiseau's background is a little bit more interesting to me, just saying. But it's a solid, good movie. It doesn't make fun of Tommy, as I mentioned. It just points out he is freaking weird.
Did you stay till the end of the credits?
I got to see the shot for shot, but the end of the movie I could not. I really had to pee.
You missed it.
I know.
You missed Tommy's cameo.
I will end up buying.
So do you want to know what it was?
I was gonna say this in my defense. I've already decided I'm buying this out when it comes out on DVD.
Oh yeah, so am I. It's gonna go next to my copy of The Room. I'm gonna get it Blu-ray.
Here's the thing: I don't buy movies because I'm the type of person is if I buy anything, I want to use it multiple times. If I don't buy movies because I'll watch it once and I'll pretty much never watch it again.
See, I'll watch them multiple times. Or I'll like, hell, you haven't seen that movie? I'll bring it over and we'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll do that on occasion too, or it's that kind of
thing. So I'm gonna spoil it for you. The stinger is Tommy Wiseau's guest spot, and it's James Franco as Tommy Wiseau on the roof. And this like guy walks up to him who's Tommy Wiseau, and he's like, "I'm a big Hollywood producer." And they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" "I'm from New Orleans." "Oh, me too." And they're both doing they both have the accent going on, and it's like, "Oh yeah, I'm from New Orleans too."
Yeah, no, that's freaking hilarious. I really want to see that now. I'm gonna get this on DVD when it comes out. Any listener who's listening to our show probably should too.
Yeah. Now we would have done a Star Wars spoiler. So spoilers end for Disaster Artist. We would have done Star Wars, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go see it after we're done with the podcast.
It is good. It is legitimately good. Now, I will say if there's one problem I have with it, it doesn't inspire me as much as it did the first 4 through 6, and that sense of awe that I got when I was a kid. But then again, I was also a kid, so what the hell does kid mean? No.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good storytelling. I'm a fan of it, and we'll have to wait for another episode for a full review. But check it out, guys. If you haven't already, just go check it out.
All right, so you want to get into trailer talk?
Trailer talk.
Trailer talk. All right, so what trailers do we have out this week?
Well, as we're running a bit behind another one of the big ones that came out this week, recently, and everyone's excited for, of course, to be the new Avengers movie coming out.
Oh yeah, with Orange Thanos.
Yeah. I am severely looking forward to this movie, believe it or not.
I am too. I mean, I think it'll look pretty cool.
We got Iron Spider. They brought back the Hulkbuster. Everyone's gonna be present. They're bringing in the Guardians of the Galaxy, who's never intermingled with the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this is gonna be great.
I was honestly surprised that they didn't interact with them in
Volume 2.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Because that would have been the time to do it. A lot of it took place on like outer planets and stuff that would have been the place the Guardians generally would go to. So even I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah, right? So yeah, I'm excited for that one. It's like 20 movies in the making.
Yeah, No kidding. It's leading up all to this, people, from 2008 until the movie comes out. No kidding.
So the next one on there I just watched was Black Lightning.
I'm both excited and disappointing.
I don't watch CW shows all that often, so I probably won't watch it. I mean, it looks all right.
Well, yeah, Black Knight Lightning is going to come out. I will admit I am a little disappointed because between the many superheroes they have in DC, for electric heroes, I was actually going to hope for Static Shock. That's just a personal preference, though. Black Lightning is so cool, though. I think it's weird that they named him based off of the ethnicity, but you know, there's something I could be missing. I don't.
Well, he was created in the 70s.
Yes.
Alongside Apache Chief Chuck.
Yes, and all kinds of like blaxploitation characters and movies, and some of those movies I actually enjoy because they're over the top and funny but ridiculous.
Black Lightning, Apache Chief, Samurai. But like I don't know. I don't watch CW shows all that often, so I don't really know. I don't know if I would watch it.
I'll probably give it a watch. Give it a season, and if the pacing of it is decent, I say this because the first season of pretty much every show ever, the first season gets kind of droll, but as long as the pacing is decent, I may continue watching it. But we'll have to wait and see. That's like we're also getting Teen Titans live action show next year as well from CW as well, which should surprise literally no one. You know, as long as the first season of its pacing, the things don't seem forced, and maybe less, how to put it, as much as I like the Flash, less somewhat forced together. I don't know how to explain it. I mean,
I like it's the thing. Like, I just don't like the way the CW production style. Like, I can barely watch Supernatural. And Supernatural, like, I like Supernatural. Like, I've liked the episodes I've watched. I just can't watch it for very long. I don't like the directing, and I don't like the filming style of a lot of the CW shows.
For me, the biggest problem I have, and this is not about Supernatural, this is just about their superhero stuff. Because Supernatural, it was pretty decent at the time it started. But the problem I have with a lot of these DC shows they've been making, as their origin stories tend to be pretty much the entire first season. So
you know what? No. I'm gonna get back to that when I talk about. I got a thing I want to talk about later. I can get back, and I like that they do they bring the origin story throughout the entire season. I actually like that.
Well, there's a difference,
especially for lesser known heroes. And despite everyone knowing who the Flash is, not everyone knows what the Flash's backstory is. He's not like Batman or Superman.
True enough. But I mean, no, like I'm a bigger. If I had to choose an African American Lightning hero, I would have chosen Static. But that's just me. There's probably
a lot. That's because you're a '90s kid.
I am a *90s kid. This is also one of my favorite Batman besides
superhero Static Shock. What?
One of my favorite Batman who's not Bruce Wayne is literally Terry McGinnis from Batman Unlimited.
Yeah, Terry's pretty good. Terry is pretty good.
Well, he's more because unlike Bruce, he didn't like train himself to be a weapon of justice. He just kind of fell into it and just worked with what he got. So that's why he's a more believable hero. Is the reason why I like him. Except for the part where they're in a sci-fi futuristic fantasy. But you know, that aside.
Ooh.
What's that?
The next trailer I want to talk about.
Go for it.
All right. Ready Player One, i.e., oh my god, there's so much crap happening on the screen. But the part that made me go, ooh, was fucking RX-78-2 Gundam.
Yeah. I thought you would
be
happy about that.
There's a fucking Gundam in it.
See, they call it Ready Player One, but every time I watch a trailer, I'm like, oh, look, it's Cameo, the movie. Look at all the
Cameo, the movie.
Look at all the references.
I just want Gundam.
Look at all the references, everybody. Look at all the references. Look, there's Chaser. There's Chun-Li over there too.
Oh yeah, I saw Tracer in there, but I'm just like, oh shit, Gundam, and it's not like the bulky old style. It's fucking the RX-72.
Yeah,
Holy fuck!
it's the one that made the
We
series
gotta
popular.
we gotta we gotta work. Oh man, it's and it looks like because it gets like 2 scenes in the trailer, so that means one of the main characters has to be piloting it.
Or is it? It seems like there's a lot of avatars. Either way, that's an awesome idea.
Oh man, and then Iron Giant. I don't know what I'm more excited for, Iron Giant or Gundam.
I'm more excited about the Gundam than Iron Giant.
I'm more excited for the Gundam. I'm totally more excited for the Gundam. Holy shit, the fucking Gundam.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna watch it for that.
Just gonna see the scene where the Gundam comes in, does whatever it is, and just walk out of the theater. I'm good. I saw
Yeah,
what I
that's
wanted.
all it's gonna do. I'm like, I'm done. I'm good. All right.
I saw
10
what I
out of
wanted.
10. 10 out of 10. You win. Yeah, it's just a bunch of cameos. I don't really know the story of the book. I have the audiobook on my Audible. I just haven't listened to it.
I probably should, because I do enjoy a good book, and this is, I don't know, because I'm one of those people who does judge the book by the movie by the book, excuse me, as long and like it doesn't.
You kind of have to.
The way I do it is a lot of people that you get both ends of this. Either people who overdo it based off of the book, or people who are like, you can't base it off the book because it's on entities. Like, no, you can. And yes, I understand that you can make cuts because, like Harry Potter, the first 2 movies, which in my opinion were the only good of the movies, they made cuts. But some of those cuts, I get why they removed, because it just made the movie go longer, and really had no.
And sometimes things that work in like novelizations don't work on the screen.
Yeah.
And so you've got to make changes.
And then there are times that movies change things for no reason other than because. So
yeah, and that's when people get mad, is when it's just because and not with an actual reason.
That's the problem. That's the reason why I get mad whenever it's not like his book. If I wanted to use Harry Potter as example, I use this because I hate the movies. I like Daniel Radcliffe, but I hate the movies.
I don't like the Harry Potter movies either.
But I like the books.
The books, yeah, I like the books too. I just don't like the movies.
Like, there's a scene in the first book I get why they didn't keep, because there was this whole thing about Wizard's duel against Draco Malfoy, and they didn't keep it in the movie. I get that. But then in book 4, as Goblet of Fire, I'll probably get yelled if I got that wrong, but book 4...
it's Goblet of Fire.
Yeah. How Harry found the ability to breathe underwater for the underwater competition is different from the book than it is in the movie, and it pissed me the fuck off. Prisoner of Azkaban was probably the worst of them all, and that was my favorite book because it had serious plot.
That movie was terrible. And yet some people like it. Like I've noticed people, the kids who like started at the movies and did the book later or whatever, liked Prisoner of Azkaban movie. I've seen so many people on the internet are like, "Oh, Prisoner of Azkaban's the best of the movies." I'm like, "No, that movie was terrible."
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
That was when I stopped watching the movies. Like,
Same.
Like I eventually watched all of them, but like I stopped having it stopped being a thing that I wanted to watch.
I watched 1, 2, 3, a part of 5, and 7 part 1. I didn't see 7 part 2.
Like I eventually watched all of them, but like the last one I actually like made my way out, like actually went out of my way to see was 3. And that one was so disappointing.
Yeah. It was rushed. It was just no, I'm good. I get why they're rushing it because the sensation was being more popular than the movies and they had to keep up, but still I lost a lot of interest after that.
You know what movie I actually really liked? Was Fantastic Beasts.
I still have not seen
I
that.
actually liked Fantastic Beasts. I got really tired of the character of Harry Potter by the end of the movies, the end of the books. And I got tired of the Harry Potter gang.
You know, the only person I got tired of was Ron, because
I got super annoyed by Harry, but I hate characters who are like, I absolutely hate people like, you can't help me. I have to do this on my own. Oh, I don't want you to get hurt. It's like, bitch, they just offered to help you. They know what they're getting into. Stop being so whiny fucking fuckface and just accept their help. And Harry, at the end of the books and the end of the movies, was well into that point of like, oh, you can't help I have to do this on my own. And I'm just like, God damn it, shut the fuck up. And I was just so tired of it. And I liked with in Fantastic Beasts because I like the world they were building, and so it's the world they're building. It takes place in America, but it's not Harry Potter and his wizard friends.
Okay, I got a question for you because you like me. Well, okay, you saw the movies. I didn't really watch the movies, but you also read the books. So I got a question for you, and maybe I'm missing something. A few years ago, and not to delve too much on this because we have more shit to get through, but um, in recently they talked about how the American school was based out of Salem, New York, and people were
Hmm.
surprised by this, but they
No, it's
mentioned
Salem, not New York. It was Salem,
oh,
Massachusetts.
Salem, Massachusetts. Thank you. But they fucking said it in the book. In the book, right at the Quidditch World Cup, it's like, oh look, there's the school of Salem, right there.
Yeah.
That I was like, people were surprised, like it was in the fucking book.
Well, the thing is, they went more in depth in the schools, and yeah, they did mention it in the book. But of course, nobody reads the books or forgets these things in the books. Like, um, I think there's more than one school in America. There
Um,
has to be by how big America is.
the
You
way
got to
that,
remember, there's 3 schools in Europe.
yeah. But the weird thing is, because this is literally what J.K. Rowling said. Some places have three, and others will be just like a continent. America has one, which covers Canada and
Well,
North.
we all know J.K. Rowling is make. I honestly believe J.K. Rowling makes shit up as she goes and just does what people want to hear.
I
I do. Like, there's no fucking way that there's only one school in America and it's on the East Coast. There has to be like, maybe there's one in like Canada. Maybe the West Coast school is like Vancouver or some shit,
no, like the one
or in Mexico.
the one I have hard time believing is because there's look. I like Rowling stuff. She's got a good world, but one of her released for it, it was something like all of Asia, excuse me, only had one school. I'm like, no,
Yeah, well, Africa had one school, and it's like, no. How the fuck does Europe have 3 of them? Europe's the fucking smallest. Well,
yeah.
next to Australia.
I like you tell me there is one school for Russians, Chinese, Laotians, Singapore's, Japanese, Koreans, Vietnamese, what have you. There is one school for an entire continent with the highest
And like,
population in the
you know what?
world.
If
No,
some
no, no, no.
places have more mysticality than others, like there's a lot of like magic, quote unquote, in the background of like Europe, but so does like Asia. Like China would have its own fucking school,
Yeah.
just period.
Well,
Like you'd have like,
let's be honest. If there was a school of magic in China, it'd be regulated by the Chinese government like everything else is.
oh yeah, oh totally would.
This would be like, and China would allow other countries to come to them, but it's still a Chinese magician school. That's ultimately what it would be. They would not. They would not be like, we're going to send our kids to Japan. No, no, no. Well, the relationships are better than it used to be. They still don't have a great relationship with Japan.
Right.
So, no,
Well, there's a reason for it. There is a reason for that.
oh yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason for that. But there's a lot of reasons for that. Leaving that,
Let's just say Japan was also a bad guy in World War II.
and not just to America. I know a lot of people don't know this. Don't worry, Americans. We weren't the only ones. As much as I like Japan, we weren't the only ones that were picked on. We were just the ones.
Let's just say, after reading about what Japan did to China, I have no guilt about nuking Japan.
Kablow. So what is the next trailer?
Let's go with. Have you seen the Alita Battle Angel trailer?
Yeah. I'm assuming.
What the fuck is up with her eyes?
Thank you. I was wondering, like, first off, is this based off a comic book? And I saw some
It's a
references
manga.
to.
It's very. It was.
Uh,
It's a manga. It is a. I've read it once and I've seen the OVA. Was there an OVA? Alita Battle Angel. And the thing is Robert Rodriguez has been wanting to make this like his entire film career.
really?
So, been wanting to make this his entire film career because he fucking loves this is like his favorite like anime.
No.
But I
let's
want
address-
to know Why did they make her eyes so
Yes,
weird?
yes, please let's address this, please, for love of God. She has the anime eyes, but everyone else has normal shaped eyes.
From what I remember on the Battle Angel Alita manga, she has normal eyes compared to everyone else. Everyone has the same eyes.
Yeah, see, it
No
were
one has weird.
anime eyes.
Yeah,
In the '90s, they were all over the place. They used to be a meme on the internet in the early 2000s. It was anime eyes. It's acceptable when everyone else has those eyes. Although for a live action, please don't ever do that. But when this is like what part CG, part live action, I think is what it is.
yeah,
Uh,
and I understand she needs to be CG because she's a fucking cyborg and it
yeah,
looks like a fucking cyborg.
but the eyes. Why the eyes? That's nightmare fuel, my friend.
But
Nightmare fuel.
yeah,
They put
it's.
now imagine that trailer and
Okay,
put
yeah,
some
they did have
creepy music.
OVAs. I know I had seen the OVAs.
Imagine
At least
that
I've seen
trailer
one of
and
them.
just
I don't
throw
know.
some. Just imagine that trailer, but throw some creepy music on it.
But yeah, it's
It's
it's like I don't I don't.
Robert
It
Rodriguez.
doesn't.
I'm,
I don't know.
I'm a big fan of his because he makes a lot of good movies. You know, um, of course, I'm product of the '90s, so action movies have a special place in my heart. Uh, but it's just the whole big eye thing throws me off and makes me not want to watch it. That saying,
Yeah.
I may watch it eventually, but I'm gonna have a hard time getting around those eyes.
Right. Uh. All right. And let me see here. Blue. Yeah, I've been tweeting our stuff that we've been talking about. I'll have to do that later. So I did Alita. Um. Why aren't you there? God damn it! Give me a second. Shit's being weird. Oh, Jurassic World.
Um,
Jurassic World.
Big fan of Chris Pratt. Still haven't seen the original Jurassic World.
I liked Jurassic World, despite everyone's complaints. It was a fun movie.
That's what I hear. And admittedly, this is mostly coming once again from people who are the products of the '90s. But I hear it's a pretty solid movie. Uh,
There are certain like things in there where you're just like, that makes no sense. But then you shut your brain up and you're like, holy shit, dinosaurs.
yeah, ooh, dinosaurs. Like the whole,
You don't sit there and you're like, oh, I'm nitpicking this movie about dinosaurs. And even then, like, okay, yeah, it's not a feathered dinosaur, but still, it's a giant, it's a dinosaur. Shut the fuck up.
Look at it. It looks like Chris Pratt somehow tamed a fucking T-Rex, and you know what? I'm okay with this.
It looks like in this trailer that he does tame a T-Rex.
I'm okay with this.
I am too.
I like Chris Pratt, and it's a motherfucking T-Rex. So it's just awesome all around.
Yeah, no, I'll probably go see it. I fucking love the first Jurassic World. Like, it wasn't a perfect movie, but what movie is these days?
Well, yeah, fair enough.
And final trailer we got on here, Mr. Senpai Kojima's Death Stranding.
Okay, all right. No, hold on. Okay, so I'm not a Hideo.
I am so excited for this.
Okay, so let's. I don't want to do step for step in this situation, but Brian, you're the Kojima fan between the two of us. Please, can you make any sense of anything that's going on? Because to me, this looks like it's an acid trip that's just gone bad.
So let's go into the backstory here. All right.
Okay.
This is the game that came from Konami firing Kojima, because Kojima was working with Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro to make the new Silent Hill. They fired him, scrapped Silent Hill, got rid of the PT thing, and so Kojima is like, well, fuck you, I'm going to make my own, and teamed up with Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro to make their own Silent Hill without the Silent Hill name. All right? But Kojima is like Tommy Wiseau. He's a mad genius. But unlike Tommy Wiseau, what he produces is actually good. This is a man who wanted to put in a game a literal 3-day boss fight. Like, you have to play the game for 3 days to beat the boss.
Oh god, that sounds so terrible. I would get horribly
He is a
impatient.
crazy man. He is a crazy person. All right, this is a man who's one of his most popular game series, the Metal Gear Solid games. When you even ask a fan about what is the actual plot of Metal Gear, they sort of just shrug and go, "Well, and then like when you push them, they have to pull out like have you seen those like cork boards with all the pictures and the strings attached and all that shit?
Wait,
That is how you have to explain Metal Gear.
I thought it was about Big
All
Boss who
right,
took down a
and
major
now but Metal
organization and
Gear,
had a snake. Then he had a clone. The clone took down what turned out to be Big Boss, the first Metal Gear, and then it happened again in Metal Gear 2. So the game for the first two times is about taking out Big Boss. You play a Solid Snake, who is the clone of Big Boss, and then after that you kind of lost me. But
and
still,
then this happens, and then you find out that that wasn't actually Big Boss, and then something about nanobots, and now the first time in like 30 years, Kojima has had no studio to tell him no. So he's going full crazy.
yeah,
And I am excited.
now don't get me wrong. This trailer visually is beautiful, but I'm sitting there watching this going, what the fuck am I watching?
We
It's
also got to remember Kojima's also the Kojima games are often like they're also those games with like hour-long cutscenes
yeah,
because
true.
he's making art. And my guess is I have no fucking clue.
Well, like,
I'll be honest, I have no fucking clue what this is going to be about, but I am so excited to play it.
well, yeah, because like he was the maker of the 45-minute cutscene for Guns of the Patriots. 45-minute
Because I know
unskippable.
it's Kojima, and I know Kojima. I've loved Kojima's games, so I know this is going to be good.
How about we just stop giving him video games and just like go make a movie? Go. It's like what I've been wanting to
Because
say.
he doesn't want to make a movie.
It's like Square Enix. I'm like
Movie? No, see the thing is, if you told him to go make a movie, he would make like he would make like a 48-hour long movie that has to be watched like 3 times.
to understand what the fuck happened.
Yeah. All right. That's why video games are the best platform for him.
I would, but okay. Let's break it down. It was like a 7-minute trailer. What the fuck was going on there, Brian? I don't.
Invisible things were stealing people. There was a baby. The rain makes you age. And for some reason, Norman Reedus swallowed Amy. What's so difficult about that?
What the fuck was I watching?
Exactly.
This is like if Pink Floyd took acid and tried writing a video game, but still somewhat coherent. They put it in the body of Hideo Kojima, who made another video game.
And here's the thing. Once you watch it and actually pay attention to it, it'll all make sense.
I did watch it. It still makes no sense.
No. I'm not talking about the trailer. When the game comes out,
Okay.
once you've played through the game and actually like paid attention, you get this point of, oh, it all makes sense. Because that's what happens to Metal Gears. It's like, what the fuck is this going on? What are they talking about? And then like finally you get through like the games and you're just like, oh, I get it now.
So, is there a chance that maybe it's not so much a normal genius where he plans shit out ahead of time, so much as he just starts a game, works on it, and then just kind of wraps it all together, kind of like what the guy who was head of Studio Ghibli for a while, Miyazaki. Miyazaki for many of his movies just made a story in the beginning and animated it, and just kind of wrote the story or the ending of what happened in the movie. That's so. How do we know that Kojima is not just doing the same thing? He's like, I don't know. People are aging. He's dying. He swallowed a baby. The baby's not there. And then the people die and they age and
stuff happens.
Bugs fall up the sky. Because I think that's what he does. I mean, if it works for him, great. But I mean, there doesn't seem to be any coherency in the early game, and it just makes a lot more sense in the later game.
Yeah, it makes sense eventually. Sure.
uh,
So I think that's it for trailer talk. Some people just can't understand the gloriousness of Hideo Kojima.
no, no, no. Just I'll wait till it comes out. I'll make my judgment. We'll come back to it.
Uh, I'm gonna get it as I have such a hard on for this game.
I'm
But I'm
probably
also a huge Kojima fanboy, so I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not gonna deny it. I am a huge Kojima fanboy.
well. There you go. Um, so moving on to the news. What is the first thing on the order there?
Let's go with since I don't have this as organized as I usually do. Um, before we get on to this, I've been watching Runaways. It's okay. Let's see. Okay, so first thing we have on some TV stuff. So let's talk about some stuff I've been watching recently before we get into this. Runaways, as a show, it's okay. As a fan of the comic The Runaways, I have a lot of problems with it.
Yeah, we had talked about this previously. Was parents are too sympathetic? Was it? You mean as you
They made the parents too sympathetic.
sympathetic
The
from?
magic of Nico
Mhm.
is tech now. Like her mom has this like tech facility called Wizard Computers, and like the staff of one uses her DNA and technology to like do magic, and it's like, no, this is bullshit. There's magic in the MCU. This is supposed to take place in the MCU. At least I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure it is, and I mean, yeah, Magic's now part of the MCU with Doctor Strange.
And
So
I don't mind the changes on certain characters. Like I don't mind making Molly Hispanic. Um, I'm a little annoyed that they killed her parents off, but I don't mind making her Hispanic. I don't mind those things. I but like I find that they're making the parents things too sympathetic, and it's like, no, we can't find the parents sympathetic.
now, by sympathetic, do you mean that the parents find them sympathetic, or the kids find them sympathetic, or that you, as the watcher, are sympathetic?
As the watcher, we're made to sound like it's made to sound like they're sympathetic, and
Okay,
like it's 6 episodes in, and they haven't run away yet.
but they're supposed to be villains, right? Am I right about this?
Yeah,
And they're trying to make the
yeah.
villains sympathetic. Don't no, just don't no 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 no. I mean, I get that the concept behind a lot of culture nowadays is no real evil. It's just people who made bad decisions and want to make more bad decisions. But I don't. You sometimes you just need a clear villain. These are the villains.
Well, there is now finally a clear villain, but it's still like I just don't. I don't know. And then the other thing I watched recently was Godless on Netflix,
I
and
wa-
that was a really good western.
I watched the first episode of that and did not expect that. Not gonna spoil anything, but you know what happens when the not the sheriff, but what's his name, the marshal, just
The
kind of
Marshal, yeah,
collapses on his feet, and the image you see, did not expect that in the show.
that made me go, holy shit.
Yeah, not to spoil anything, but he collapses, and then we get a wide shot of something I didn't think I'd ever seen in a show, unless we talk about the show that I've been watching lately, which is Ash versus the Evil Dead, and yeah, because I know that you, Brian, you're not a horror movie fan, and
They're okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of them.
I barely consider Evil Dead horror, if I'm gonna be perfectly
It's
honest.
it's barely horror. I like the Evil Dead movies. I'm just not like super into them like some people are.
I'm part of the fandom, but what really got me into it was the comic books. Like I like the movies, but the comic books and like the stuff Ash would do in them were a little bit more entertaining than the actual movies, with the exception of Army of Darkness, which is one of my favorite movies. Um, and fucking people die, and my only complaint I have ever had with this series so far, and mind you, I haven't finished season one yet. The only complaint that I've had with this series so far is that apparently Deadites are just like walking blood sacks. That's all they are.
Oh.
Yeah, because they use I even listened to a interview with Bruce Campbell about this. They use an excessive amount of blood. We're talking like not quite Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume One, but it's a good competitor. You know, it's There's a lot of
Right.
blood in it.
Right.
And Deadites are basically just like walking blood sacks. Uh, Other than that, though, I've been watching that, and it's been pretty awesome. I would suggest it's on Netflix for anybody who wants to watch it. Like the
Uh,
first season, I'm not sure what the second season is on yet, but it's great.
so do you want to get into the light news before we get into the heavy news?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to do the light news or the heavy news first?
Go ahead and do the light.
All right. First thing first. See, Stranger Things gets season 3, which surprises no one.
Literally no one. This is a highly regarded series, even if it's not really my thing. I mean, they've only given it about an episode and a half, but even if it's not my
I
thing,
loved it. I thought it was great,
yeah,
and I love the relationships between the characters, and I'm kind of excited to see Eleven try to be a normal girl.
that sounds weird. Like I said, I haven't watched very much, but even I find that a bit weird.
It's less weird if you actually seen season 2.
Fair enough. I'll force myself to watch it one of these days. Finish this.
You should.
Yeah. Force myself to sit down and watch a lot of things. But yeah, that's good news. I know it's a pretty big series. People are really looking forward to this. And then you got. There's also someone, not to dwell on this too much, but there's someone who believes there might be a connection between Stranger Things and It.
Oh yeah, I was like them totally. Yeah.
Yeah, which will be interesting because to be perfectly fair, Stranger Things does kind of give me a Stephen King-like vibe. Other than his, often anti-religion messages and also rednecks are bad, which appears in most of his stories. But
Well, rednecks are bad.
But it's yeah, this is good news. They're getting a third season, and knowing that
Right.
the two writers for it, I'm sure they're excited about this and have no idea where they're going with it.
So keeping on the Netflix train, Riverdale offshoot Sabrina moves to Netflix. So they were going to make a spin-off of Riverdale, which is a terrible thing of the terrible version of the Archie comics, who destroys some of the characters' backstories. But if they're going to do the modern Sabrina, I'm kind of okay with that. Most people I know think Sabrina the Teenage Witch and think Melissa Joan Hart. But the comics for Sabrina, as of late, got super fucking dark.
Oh yeah, super fucking dark. Like,
and you know what? I'm okay with that.
Hey man, if they're gonna move that to Netflix, that's great because I don't want to watch Riverdale, but this could be good.
They changed characters' like attitudes way too much in Riverdale. Like it was like obviously the person had never read an Archie comic. I haven't read them myself, but I've heard like they're actually decent and like they try to keep on top with trends. Like when they're playing a video game at the time, it actually looks like they're actually holding the controller at the time. So in the 80s, they were actually holding an NES controller. More modernly, they're playing a video game. In the comics, it's actually like a PlayStation controller. Well, it's not some made-up controller. It's actually appropriate for the time they're in.
The problem
their fashions and the way they dress is also usually appropriate for the time they're in.
The problem I run into when it comes to Archie, obviously I'm not a fan, but it's because, or not in this case, or not Archie, excuse me, Riverdale, is that Archie comics are rather, how to explain it, still kind of plain of American bread. Not very,
yeah, they're very American bread.
Yeah, not very dramatic for the most part, except for the one time the Punisher visited Riverdale. And like this is like an overly dramatic. This is like if someone wrote a poor fan fiction with
Archie comics are weird. Let me just put it that way.
They're also, on a side note, they're making another spin-off of the Archie comics where Veronica is a vampire.
Oh yeah.
So there's that.
And the other problems with Riverdale that I've heard people who are actually people who are Archie fans is one, Jughead's like not super into hamburgers like he is in the comics. And two, Archie's a jerk. Riverdale made Archie a jerk. Archie's supposed to be completely well-meaning. Archie's supposed to be like the quintessential well-meaning good guy.
Well, yeah, to me
he's not in the show.
To me, he always seemed like the less somber version of Charlie Brown, if you will.
Yeah, he's the well-meaning good guy.
I don't know. Look, maybe I know there are Riverdale fans out there because I've seen people talk about it, but it's just not for me. But the Sabrina series, this could be good depending on what they do. I'm sure they give me a lot of Melissa Joan Hart
Who are
fans.
they
Are gonna be
getting?
disappointed.
Where are they getting to play her? Because like I do find I do find the modern version of Sabrina to be fairly attractive for a drawing.
I don't know. Probably the woman who played Harley Quinn.
Oh, please not her. She
Agreed.
doesn't quite fit right.
Agreed, but she was so popular because of one movie, and admittedly I still haven't seen it, but people liked her in Suicide Squad so much that
Yeah.
that it could just be she's in demand for this kind of stuff now.
It doesn't say Margaret. I mean, Margot Robbie is all right, but not for Sabrina. She's too old to be Sabrina.
Agreed. And believe it or not, I will be slightly annoyed if her hair is not blonde, because that's a literal.
I actually really like her modern comic one where it's like the white blonde.
Platinum blonde, my friend. Yeah, I know I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I like the platinum blonde. It's like that one's actually I like that one.
You kind of had to do it because I mean it's not all she's about, but that is an actual character trait. So if I see like a brown haired Sabrina, I'm gonna be a little annoyed. I'll probably still watch it if I'm being perfectly honest, though.
It does not say who's gonna be playing her. Oh, is she playing in Riverdale? Because the spinoff of Riverdale, is she anybody in Riverdale? She's shown up in Riverdale. Because if she's shown up in Riverdale, then she's she would probably be played by the same person. No, it does not say who plays her. Okay, so let's continue. Next one is blur blur blur. Harley Quinn is apparently still getting a solo spin-off.
Yep.
With her 3 other movies. So there's gonna be 4 Harley Quinn movies. Why are there 4 Harley Quinn movies?
Okay, technically there's gonna be a solo movie, 2 guest
okay.
stars.
So Suicide Squad 2.
Yep.
Gotham City Sirens.
Yep. I think she's in the Batman movie. No, it's a Joker movie. Excuse me. It's gonna be a Joker
movie.
Yeah, once they get Joker again, I guess.
And then an animated Harley Quinn show, right? Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's all right.
It
just means I got to deal with guys. I've ranted about this before. I know, and with the Harley Quinn movies coming out and Deadpool 2 coming out, don't everybody just think about it for a second. If you're going to dress up for a convention, don't dress up as them. You know everyone else is going to. You know how fucking annoying it is? I kept count of how many Harley Quinns and how many Deadpools I ran into. And there was like a whole shit ton. It's like there's 1, there's 2, there's 20. Oh, look, there's my 50th Harley Quinn. Do something original.
Look, I will forgive alternative costumes, believe it or not. Like
okay, I will too.
Like you know, let's use Harley Quinn as an example. Use Arkham Asylum Harley Quinn or Arkham City, whatever your preference is, and then you can use.
But they were all dressed as Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
Harley Quinn.
A little harder.
Just like stop.
A little harder to do with Deadpool because he's pretty much only had the one outfit, more or less. And we're talking
don't dress up as Deadpool. Dress up as somebody else.
Slade Wilson, not Wade Wilson. Slade Wilson, Deathstroke.
Taskmaster.
There you go. I don't see a lot of Taskmasters. He's not funny, but you know, there you go.
You don't have to be funny. People are doing it so I can be wacky and funny, and I can do bad stuff to people because they'll just think I'm being funny like Deadpool. It's like, no, you're not being funny. You're not go the fuck away. Spider-Man. Dress up as Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's also a Comic-Con cliche, though.
It is, but you don't see 20 Spider-Mans, and there's like a dozen. Do a variation on Spider-Man. Ooh. Literally, open up Spider-Verse and go as like one of the alternative Spider-Man.
Spider Warrior. Just read Spider Warriors, man. They got nothing but alternative versions of Spider-Man. You got 2099 Spider-Man. You got noir Spider-Man. You got Indian Spider-Man. I'm talking about like actual Indians where they, kid you not, he got his power from yoga.
Armored Spider-Man,
Armored
Captain
Spider-Man.
Universe Spider-Man, Black Suit Spider-Man.
There you go. There's some options. Fucking go with it, damn it.
Don't just go as Deadpool, because I immediately don't like you when you dress up as Deadpool. And I'm not lying here. I dislike. I immediately get that feeling when like there's a room full of Deadpool cosplayers.
Well, I will give one thing only for Deadpool cosplayer. And they go with the only seen like twice in all of Marvel black suit Deadpool, in which Deadpool had the symbiote for a while. That would be the only time.
That'd be terrifying. All right, let's go with the next one. Mega Man X. Mega Man, super fat and robot. Coming to the Mega Man X collection is coming to the modern consoles. Plus, I think they're also coming out with a new Mega Man. Mega Man 11 also got announced.
Yeah. Mega Man 11 got announced.
That's pretty cool. Like, I'm glad to see. So, EA shitting the bed. Yep. Konami shat the bed.
Yep.
Capcom is finally not shitting the bed anymore? Is that what's happening here? Because they've got Mega Man coming out. They're doing halfway decent with Street Fighter. Marvel vs. Capcom had some hiccups, but it's still fun.
I will not put my support behind Capcom again until we get Mega Man Legends 3, damn it.
That will never come out.
Fucking
the people who even worked on that game haven't worked for the company in like 20 years.
How do you make a game series and not finish it? God, sorry.
It won't come out. It will never come out. And even if they did try and remake it, it wouldn't be good.
They've never made Mega Man Legends 3. They've only made 1 and 2. And
yeah, I know. I'm saying is they didn't. The people who were on the Mega Man Legends team no longer work for Capcom, and so it won't be the same game if they try to make Mega Man Legends 3.
Moving on. Yeah, we're gonna get into we're gonna get the remake of Mega Man games because nowadays
I'm wondering if are they gonna be HD remakes or are they gonna be port by port? It'd be cool if they made them like HD remakes, but also with the ability to it doesn't say. We'll be able to do them as like you can look at them the classic way, or you can look at them at them with like the redone.
Oh, kind of like Halo Combat Evolved whenever they made like.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and you could just like flip it between a button, so flips the graphics.
Yeah, like cool. I'd like to see it like the super polished, even like back to the first one. It's all updated. Like it's still like the 32-bit graphics, but modern 32-bit graphics.
Right.
Modern 16-bit, sorry, like modern 60-bit graphics compared to like old 16-bit graphics, and like keep doing that, and like how you can either do it that way or you can play like the first Mega Man X as how it looks and stuff. So
I know my friend, the Mega Man's it went from 16 gig to 32 because it was also in the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 era.
Yep.
So Mega Man X ran like 10 years or something like that.
Next one is Ryan Reynolds is Detective Pikachu. I have mixed feelings on this. I wanted it to be Danny DeVito.
We all wanted it to be Danny DeVito. I wanted it to be Danny DeVito.
I'm not against Ryan Reynolds. I like Ryan Reynolds, but damn it, I wanted Danny DeVito to reprise his Frank Reynolds character as Pikachu and talk about garbage and hey Charlie, let's go solve some crimes and stuff. Yes. I got a monster schlong. I need these Magnum condoms for my monster schlong.
There was even a petition to get Danny DeVito as Detective Pikachu because
that petition. It's like, what's a Pikachu?
Yeah, that would have been fucking awesome though. Imagine Pikachu's like Pikachu. It would have been fucking
trash.
Damn it,
he's full of trash.
I'm glad because I don't want I like Ryan Reynolds as actor and I don't want him to be a one-trick pony with Deadpool because I like Deadpool but the movies, but I don't want him to be just known for that from now on.
Ooh. Oh, that's super cool.
What's that?
Do you know who wrote the script for Detective Pikachu?
No.
Gravity Falls creator Alex Hirsch and Guardians of the Galaxy co-screenwriter Nicole Perlman wrote the current script of Detective Pikachu. Shit, man, Alex Hirsch? All right, I I gotta go see that.
All right, fine. I stand.
But I don't know. I wanted to hear Pikachu go on about whores.
You know what? I want to become a TV producer, just like get Danny DeVito to do voice acting in an animated show like a detective. That would be fucking awesome. We'll recreate Sin City as a series. There you go.
Whores.
Hewers.
Fucking love Always Sunny.
If
you haven't watched Always Sunny, guys, you really should. It's hilarious.
There's one thing I am not sure about because it came from on that show. Because it came from that area where it was common. Is the show improv? How much of that is improv, if any?
It's not. Any of the only improv that comes from that show is they do the loose script style of improv, but it's not very improv. It has like that. It has the loose. You ever watched Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah, I've watched a few episodes.
Rick and Morty has loose script style improv.
Oh, okay.
Home movies had loose script style improv where you have a script, but they allow people to improvise if they need to.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And that's how Always Sunny is, and Always Sunny is hilarious.
I thought so because it always felt like it was improv, and this is coming from the aspect that because at the time it was it started right around the time Reno 911 was really starting to get pretty big.
Oh yeah, and a couple of the people who worked on Reno 911 are in Always Sunny.
Well, it's because Reno 911 was pretty much all improv except for the movie. That was that was actually scripted, but most of that was improv for the movie for Reno 911. So it came out of the same general era. So I felt like that it was improv. I'm glad to know that at least for the most part that was.
No,
true.
you should totally watch it. It's hilarious. I fucking love that show. It's one of my favorites, and I can't wait for the next season. Charlie is my spirit animal. All right, next thing on here, since I have the list and your internet is shitty, Stephen King's Pet Sematary remake.
I feel like I want to say no to this. I really do.
Well, yes and no. See, having seen the new It could be good, but it can also be terrible.
Hear me out. If we're gonna get another remake, how about Children of the Corn?
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, like an honest to goodness attempt at Children of the Corn.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, because if you're gonna do Stephen King, for one, I would love to see a Shining, but that's just because I'm a personal fan of The Shining. That aside, if you're gonna do a remake of an already existing movie that was based off of a book Stephen King wrote, like I said, why not Children of the Corn?
Because it was good, but Dark Tower wasn't.
I still need to see that.
I haven't seen it either, but everything I've heard from it is that it's not great.
Yeah, the problem I heard is it's a rather standard action movie. Is a lot of problems that I've heard from people. So I didn't feel like Stephen King, just felt like a standard action movie.
Yeah. You know what annoys me? When you buy a keyboard and mouse set and they take different batteries.
Using
or you buy anything and it's like a wireless one because I got a Steam Link over. I just got my Steam Link, which I got over Black Friday because they're selling it for $5.
Huh.
And so I got a wireless keyboard and mouse to go with it. But the wireless keyboard and mouse take different. The mouse takes a single AA, and the keyboard takes 2 AAAs, and it pisses me off when you buy things in sets like that and they take different types of batteries.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. It's also weird.
Why doesn't everything take the same battery anymore?
I think it's weird at this point that they don't just have a lithium battery at this point because
that's also weird. But those cost $100. Lithium batteries are expensive, and I just wanted a cheap $20, $30 set.
Fair enough. Shit, what were we talking about just a minute
ago? Stephen King stuff. Sorry,
yeah.
Distracted.
But no, it's look, maybe because I out of all of his stories, Pet Sematary was the one that caused the least interest to me. How to put it? I didn't care about it.
I've seen it. It's all right. Don't bury things in pet cemeteries, guys.
Yeah. Also, don't stay in hotels in the middle of winter during a giant blizzard. That's just good.
I'm gonna go stay at. Actually, I kind of want to go stay at that hotel. It's not too far from here, but it's really expensive.
Yeah, we got.
It won't be the same interior, but the outside will look like it.
Yeah. Go around creeping the hell out of people. Hi, everybody.
Yep. So I guess next thing on our list of stuff is Patrick Stewart says he'll return for a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek movie.
On a side note,
On one hand, I'd have a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek movie. On the other hand, hey, holy shit, Patrick Stewart.
I see nothing wrong with this. I'm a fan of Patrick Stewart. I'm a fan of Quentin Tarantino.
I'm not the biggest fan of Quentin Tarantino. I have certain issues with his movies.
I like them.
And you know what? It's not even. No. Here's my problem with Quentin Tarantino. All right.
Besides the foot fetish thing.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna judge. No, it came from watching the commentary, and it's not him per se. It's everyone else that bothers me about him. So I was watching Reservoir Dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm gonna watch this the commentary. But instead of talking about the movie or talking about like the making of the movie or just talking about things, it was 2 hours of, holy crap, look how great Quentin Tarantino is. Quentin Tarantino is so great. Let's all suck Quentin Tarantino's dick because he's the greatest filmmaker ever. Oh man, he is so great. He's so visionary. He's so great. He's so great. He's so great. It was like an hour of that. And it's like 2 hours of that. And it's like, God damn it, I don't give a fucking shit about how great Quentin Tarantino is. Tell me about the process of the making of this goddamn fucking movie.
Okay, so you hate the hype around the man rather than the man.
Yes.
That I can get behind. That one I understand. I like Quentin Tarantino's movies. Actually, speaking of which, I just watched Hateful Eight recently. I like his movies, but even I would get annoyed. Like, guys, shut the fuck up and talk about. Because if I watch commentaries like you, I was like, how did you guys make the scene? What happened? What brought up to this? You know, because a part of me is still a bit of a film nerd who just really wants to know how this was made or what it was like at the time of making this. What brought up to this? You know, shit like that. So even I would get annoyed. I was like, all right, we get it. We all like Quentin Tarantino. Move the fuck on.
Yeah, it was just like, ugh.
So, but yeah, we're going to get a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek, which will probably be dialogue heavy. If it's Quentin.
I like dialogue heavy. I'm a fan of dialogue heavy.
I am a fan of dialogue heavy, and if you're... Look, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, the only way I could see that this working well is if they go ahead and just move on to the next generation. Because, like,
right.
If they bring in Patrick Stewart, he can come back as Picard, just old Picard or what have you, or alternate timeline Picard.
I can see it working.
Well, then you get dialogue heavy Quentin Tarantino, right? And
yeah, I like dialogue heavy. You know which Quentin Tarantino movie I did not like? I hated Inglourious Bastards.
I have yet to finish it. It is too long and weirdly paced for me to sit down and watch.
Yeah. But I think it'll be alright. I like Patrick Stewart. I'd watch most things with Patrick Stewart in it.
I'm just saying, like, he does great dialogue, and, Patrick Stewart can send his role to maybe, like, alternate timeline or whatever, Jean-Luc Picard. So they just move on to the next generation and just move on to, like, Picard in the group. Because Next Generation was already dialogue heavy. So just move the fuck on. We've had 3, and in my opinion, still pretty good Star Trek movies.
I haven't seen the last one.
It was pretty good, though I had a lot of questions that never got answered and probably never will. So I had to let that go. So yeah, I look forward to the idea of a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek movie, believe it or not. He's also like a fan of that era type of movie, so here's helping.
Yeah. So next thing we got on here is Soul Calibur 6, aka Soul Calibur 0.5, because this looks, just judging by the age of these characters, this looks like it takes place before Soul Calibur.
As a Soul Calibur fan, I'm excited.
I am excited, and they're getting to a point in the series where they couldn't really go any further in the future without things getting weird. So it looks like they might be pulling the Mortal Kombat 9 route and redoing it, like moving it back and then doing an alt timeline.
Yeah.
Which did really good for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, well, definitely, because that made it easier to tell their story, because the old one was getting a bit convoluted.
And seeing how young Mitsurugi looks, and with Sophia being there, I'm guessing that this is either before or just after Soul Edge.
I have a feeling it's before 2, like between one or the original Soul Calibur and like 2.
Well, it went Soul Edge, Soul Calibur, Soul Calibur 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, 22, 75. It
Okay.
went back in time, Soul Calibur 99, and then you got Soul Calibur 10,000, which takes place in caveman times.
Soul Calibur.
Ugh. But yeah, it looks like Soul Calibur 6. I like the Soul Calibur games. I like Namco's fighting games. I've noticed a trend with them is they tend to have a shit ton of moves and combos, but very few of them actually matter.
Yeah.
Because they also do Tekken, and I fucking love Tekken. Tekken is my fighting game of choice. And if you look at the move list of Tekken and Soul Calibur, they're like 50 pages long.
Yeah, and the more you
Because
advance,
everything combos into each other.
and the more you advance with the character, the more moves you unlock.
Oh, no, not even. No, you don't unlock moves. You don't lock moves in Soul Calibur at all.
Are you kidding me? Because I've been able to do more. Okay, maybe I just got better.
You're just getting
but-
better at fighting
Okay,
games.
good to know.
All those moves are available at a time. And actually, the opposite is, well, it goes on a bell curve. So as you get better in like Tekken and Soul Calibur, you start doing more and more moves. And then once you reach a point, you realize a bunch of these moves are useless. So then you start using less and less moves until you get like the amount of moves that are perfect.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this. We're going to get a new Soul Calibur, and I'm going to ignore the existence of 5 for a while.
Yeah.
I was not a big fan of 5. I really wasn't. 3, for me, was my favorite of the Soul Calibur series.
3 was fun. I liked 3. I liked 4. 4 introduced Hildegard, and she was great. I am a Raphael main in the Soul Calibur games.
I'm a cheap-ass motherfucker who uses Keelik.
Ugh, gross.
Or, Young
But I
Sung.
actually prefer Amy over Raphael. She's the girl. She's Raphael's daughter. And she may not have the same damage output as Raphael, but she's faster.
Yeah. To me...
And speed does a lot.
Yeah. Especially someone who uses, main Maxi. Motherfucking Maxi. I've get caught in a loop of combo attacks from a Maxi user. I fucking hate Maxi.
With Maxi, you want to block until his combo ends, and then you hit him hard because he has very, very poor He can't get back up from a hit very well.
Yeah, I know. You can't get very back up from it, and there is a gap between his combos, his big combos. So if you can like get the strike between the gap, you can like floor him on the ground, and just kind of like juggle him around for a bit. If you're smart about it and aggressive enough. But it's still, Maxi users, fuck you.
They did the Game of the Year awards, which are always wonderful, and they are so great and obviously done by people who play video games and aren't cheap cash grabs.
I sense a bit of anger.
Where would you think that?
It's something about your voice. Something.
Well, the last couple times they've done these, they've felt very much like cheap cash grabs of video gamers like this stuff.
To be fair, the winner of this year does make a bit of sense because they're still talking about it. They're still talking about it. For those who don't know, it's Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
All right, so going back to the Game of the Year, Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I haven't played. I don't think either of us has played. I want to play it, but I want to get me a Switch.
If they increase the library of the Switch, besides just look at all the indie games we have, then I might consider it. But in the meantime, it's still too... what's the word I'm looking for here? Fad-y, if you will. Still too much of a fad. So
I'm looking at some of these lists on this Game of the Year stuff, and you know what? There's not a lot in here that I'm like, oh, that's dumb, because there's not like, it's okay. You know what? I'm sorry, Game of the Year. I came at you with Cross, but like it's not as bad as like the Spike TV Video Game Awards, which are fucking garbage.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we continue?
All right.
So let's go on to some lighthearted news. Waffle House customer cooks his own meal while staffers sleep, which is great. He took pictures. The guy on the in the shift was asleep, and he came back later the next day to pay for his meal.
Yeah, that's great. That's like something I would do too. I'm just like, hey guys, fuck it, I'm making steak and eggs. Let's call this.
He told he waited at the register for 10 minutes for someone to take his order. He looked for employees but he didn't find anyone. He basically went onto the grill, made himself a cheesesteak melt. He cleaned up and then left. And he came back the next day to pay for his thing.
That's fucking.
Oh, and on top of this, the Waffle House district manager asked him to become a Waffle House secret shopper.
No, that part I love because it means not only did he get the food he wanted, he got to make it. You know, he's not to pay for it, but that's understandable because it's not his ingredients. But then he got a job out of it if he wanted to take it, and to me, that's freaking hilarious.
Right?
I love this news story. I really do.
Like, this guy is great. Go you, buddy. Go you. Ah, man. I can dig it. I can definitely dig it.
Yeah, that was great.
Those ones. So, let's go back a bit. All right. Akira Toriyama reveals the secret behind Dragon Ball Super Saiyans, Metachlorians. Super Saiyans have fucking Metachlorians. They have things called S cells. But this is Akira Toriyama, so that means two things are going to happen. Either he made this up on the spot because somebody asked him the question, and two, he's going to forget about it in like a year.
Well, yeah.
The reason why characters like Tien don't show up in Dragon Ball anymore is because he forgot they exist.
I can honestly believe that. It's like how he forgot about Launch. He literally forgot about Launch.
Yeah, he forgets these characters exist. And he's like, oh well.
Oh yeah, I had this character, didn't I? I was just thinking about Goku.
Right. This was a thing I did.
Oh yeah. Wasn't there a pig who could shapeshift? Shut up.
Remember when we were important?
Or as Dragon Ball Z Abridged to put it, remember when we used to do things?
That's the one I was trying to reference. Let's go on to because we got through most of yours and on to the ones I put. We did that one. All right, so Tommy Wiseau, who we talked about earlier and how much we love him, wants to make a Star Wars movie, and I want to support him. I want this to happen with every being in my... No, my response to this was like, holy shit, that'd make a Jar Jar movie I'd actually want to see.
This you say this, by the way, it makes me immediately think of that Pistol Shrimps video that I had sent you where they put Tommy Wiseau in the trailer for Last Jedi. Oh, hi, Mark. And you see, like, Mark Hamill.
Oh, hi. I want a Star Wars movie done by Tommy Wiseau.
All right, you can.
I would think it would be great.
You can have your Star Wars movie by Tommy Wiseau. If I get to have a Star Wars movie with Bruce Campbell in it, yes.
One fan asked if he'd like to direct a Star Wars movie. His response goes far beyond a simple yes. Here's what he had to say. Yes, absolutely, but I'm very busy, so I prefer to act. Which is even better. You know what? He doesn't have to direct it. If he's in Star Wars as an alien, do you know how fucking cool that would be? I want him to be in there so bad. Oh,
hi, everybody.
And then there's trailers.
Hi, Ray.
Speaking of him and Greg Sestero, Best Friends, Friend Fiends looks really good.
Oh yeah, it's that trailer that's coming out. Greg Sestero wrote it, but it's gonna star as Greg Sestero and Tommy
they
Wiseau.
did the extended trailer when I went to go see when I went to the Night with Greg Sestero thing where I got Greg Sestero's autograph and met him and asked him a question and he complimented me on my question because Greg Sestero is an amazing person.
Sounds like it.
I also got to see Night Vale live and that was super fun too.
Cool.
We can get into that later. Let's finish the news and I can go into the stuff that I've done the last couple things a little more. But yeah, Best Friends looks pretty fucking cool. But I love Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero. So what's next? Boom. Yeah, he wants to do a movie. Uh, U.S. lawmaker who called out Star Wars Battlefront 2 lays out plans for anti-loot box law.
Good.
Like I don't mind loot boxes if they are cosmetic only. That's the only time I'm fine. If they change the actual gameplay, then I have problems with them. But if they're just like, oh, skins and shit, okay, you know what? Or like the only way to unlock characters is through that and not through points, then that's fine. But when it's like this loot box will literally make you better, and you have to like save up shit tons. Like I don't like it.
So you either have to save up shit tons or spend real money to get what is basically like a random roll of the die. You may not get what you're wanting. It's literally like the problem is coming into is it's a lot of politicians around the world saying this is basically just gambling. This is what you have made. You have made gambling and have gotten kids into gambling. I'm okay with the cosmetic stuff, but when it's a literal game changer, then that's when it comes the problem. That's when it comes the problem. That's when it becomes a problem. So I'm glad they're cracking down on this because EA is okay. You said EA is now shitting the bed. EA's always been shitting the bed. They've always found.
They've always been shitting. The thing with EA is, from what I've heard from people who have actually worked for them, is they're not a bad company to work for, and they do make some good games. They're just very. They act like a typical corporate business.
They're dicks. They're dicks. The problem that runs into here, and besides me just calling them a dick, is I've talked to people, programmers and game makers and stuff like that. They don't like EA, because their platform is super dicky. But also they do, from people I talk to, they tend to run their employees a bit hard for the most part. And they don't really care about any fans of their series. They're just looking to make money. So if you're like, oh, I like The Sims, well, guess what? They want to milk you for money. Oh, I like Dragon Age. Well, they're going to add microtransactions to Dragon Age. For reference, I don't know if that's true or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Yeah. Next thing on here, She-Ra, Princess of Power is coming to Netflix. If everybody doesn't know, She-Ra is the cousin who lives in an alternative universe of He-Man. She's basically the girl version of He-Man.
So, kind of like the Masters of the Universe version of Supergirl?
Yes. And it's coming to Netflix as an animated series.
The problem that I run into here is that as much as I dig nostalgia trips on occasion, you know, we are as a society relying too much on nostalgia, and it's killing any form of real creativity, any original interesting ideas.
Yeah, we are.
And as much as I like that Netflix has made a bunch of let's face it, Marvel's B heroes, and made a few of them interesting. I still don't like Iron Fist, but made a few of them.
Well, Iron Fist isn't even interesting in the comics.
No,
so you know what the best story of Iron Fist was in the comics was the Immortal Weapons series, where it was the other immortal weapons.
Yeah.
It was Iron Fist, like the all the other immortal weapons, and that one was cool. So
the problem I have is we're relying too much on nostalgia. Let's get some more original ideas out there, guys. I mean, let's fucking do this. I can't be the other one who's tired of seeing I love Marvel movies. Don't get me wrong, I do love Marvel movies. I love Star Wars movies. But how about we get a really awesome sci-fi adventure or superhero movie that's not Marvel, DC, or Star Wars?
Because nobody knows anything outside of those games.
Okay, hold on. How many Marvel movies did we get this year, Brian?
1 billion. I actually don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I know. I figured.
We can maybe do some more Dark Horse or Image. Ooh, you know what would be a fun movie to do? It's going to be pure 90s. Since there's such 90s nostalgia, do a fucking Image Comics Youngbloods movie.
No, fuck that. Fuck the Youngbloods.
Yeah,
Fuck,
fucking 90s to the max.
fuck the
Like
Youngbloods.
I want like a since there's so much 90s nostalgia, I want there to be a 90s nostalgia superhero movie.
All right, fine. We got through in Spider-Man, Batman, the Ninja Turtles,
Well, we
but
already have those. We
in
need to do
in a,
the obscure, edgy to the max movies.
and look, fuck the Youngbloods. I'm sure there's a fan base for them. I am not part of that fan base. Fuck the Youngbloods. I, I'm okay going alternate comic. You know, we don't have to hit Marvel and DC. That's fine. But still, fuck the Youngbloods. How about a decent Spawn movie? Damn it.
Well, they are working on that,
Yeah, I
so
know. Yeah, but they're not doing like a Spawn movie. They're doing a movie about villains reacting to Spawn. Because
oh
the way they're explaining it is meant to be like a horror movie, where it's coming up from the perspective of Spawn's victims, which to me sounds boring. Um, because I want to see Spawn blow people up and rip people to chains. Excuse me, but I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I am just part of not part of the majority group or something. There's something obviously I am missing about this. So, moving
We've
on.
got one more is the Witcher series to be written by Daredevil and Defenders. And
Yes.
what I find hilarious is the guy who created The Witcher will get no money from this because he's a fucking idiot.
Yes, because he didn't think that it would make a good video game series, so he sold his rights for $10,000 to CD Projekt
And now
Red.
he's super butthurt about it.
Yeah, I was like,
He
well,
is so bitter about it.
you know what? You shouldn't have snubbed the video game people. Video games are a large part of our culture now. So guess what that means? You got 10 grand, and CD Projekt Red's gonna get anything based off of Geralt and his adventures. Cause fuck you. That's why.
Yeah.
As we've talked about from in many series, I'm actually a fan of The Witcher. I still need to finish reading the books though, but the games were solid games, and I look forward to the concept of a series. But the guy is super angry about this. Like, well, it's your fault. I mean, it's like if J.R.R. Tolkien sold his sold his book for like $5,000. Like, yeah, this will never be made into a movie. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this week's episode. We kind of split this one up a bit for the last like half hour. The main reason for it is we wanted to go ahead and still release an episode so people can enjoy it, but at the same time, we want to take some time off to go ahead and do our holiday stuff between the two of us. So we felt like we can go ahead and release this, and then the following week we'll go ahead and release the second half, the 15.2, if you will. So, go ahead and check that out. Don't worry, we're going to release it on the same time, as a special late Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah candle night gift. Anyway, so real quick, I just want you to know that you can go ahead and also follow us on our social media accounts like Twitter, that's at Geekus Speakus, or Facebook, facebook.com/Geekus Speakus. We're now also on Tumblr. We can now find us wherever podcasts are found. We're on pretty much everything short of Amazon, but soon. Anyway, you can also now contact us via email at gspeakus@gmail.com. Feel free to give us any comments, any questions, anything you want to send us. That'd be great. We'd be more than happy to respond if we can. I would like to thank the band The Spin Wires for their song "Girls Like You." You can find them on Bandcamp for their newest album. It's a pretty good band. Go check them out, everyone. Anyway, like I said, we'll release the last end of this episode next week as a kind of a Christmas gift. And happy holidays, everyone.